October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Yeah! We love Tobago Carnival!
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. How are you doing this morning? It's a lovely Thursday morning on the outside. It's a bit, overcast, but nevertheless, it's a good day to give God praise and thanks. Yeah? Before we do anything else further, we'll go straight into the news for 90 seconds. A robbery occurred at Caribbean Jewelers on Lowlands Mall yesterday. Though details remain unclear, reports indicate that two masked men entered the store just before 11 a.m. announcing a hold-up. Shortly after, a video circulating on social media shows the robbers disguised in construction hats and safety jackets. One of them is seen kicking and stomping on the security guard's head, while the other exits the back of the store carrying a black bag. Police are continuing investigation. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine acknowledged that renting boats is not the best solution for Tobago's Coast Guard, but defended the move as a desperate response to lack of resources. His remarks followed National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines' opposition to the initiative to rent fishing vessels for crime prevention. Augustine emphasized that the Coast Guard in Tobago currently has no assets or boats, leaving the island without proper maritime security support, which he attributes to a failure by national national authorities to provide adequate resources. And finally, Commissioner of Police Yerwood Christopher and Minister in the Ministry of National Security Keith Scotland concluded their crime-fighting tour in Tobago, focusing on building community trust and addressing crime. Scotland will soon present an assessment report to National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. During the visit, they encouraged residents to support the police and promised increased patrols, particularly in areas affected by violence. The Tobago Chamber of Commerce has offered resources to help, which is seen as essential for improving police response. And that was your news in 90 seconds. We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Stay fit this July.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. Yes, it is Thursday, the 15th day of August 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi. And Biana, thank you so much for bringing us the news there in 90 seconds.
Yes, Adana.
You know, today we have to celebrate. We have to celebrate with all of our followers.
Yes,
we want to say thank you, a big thank you for choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, for choosing to follow our programming.
Yes.
We really do appreciate you. We've hit some milestones this week.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you to our viewers on our Facebook live stream
Yes.
and our YouTube channel. Yes, thank you. We have gotten to over 45,000 followers.
Yes,
on Facebook, and over 10,000 followers on our YouTube channel. And we want to say thank you guys so much. Biana, how do you feel knowing that we are increasing in followers as we bring programming and information to people, not just in Tobago actually, but across the globe?
Yes. Well, I feel elated about it, and to know that, you know, we can be in either homes or on the airwaves of persons, you know, appliances, just taking in what exactly is happening in Tobago. That's an elated feeling for me.
Yes, it really is, and we really do appreciate you. We thank you so much for helping us to establish, you know, what we do here, and to give us the encouragement to continue to bring you, you know, news of substance that you enjoy, that you can engage with, that you can leave your comments, your remarks, and, you know, just be informed as to what is happening with things as it relates to us happening here in Tobago and around Tobago in the diaspora. So we say thank you so very much.
Yes.
Biana, thank you so much, and do have a wonderful morning.
Same to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to celebrate with all those who are celebrating this morning. So we head on over to our birthday shout-outs. And as we begin our birthday shout-outs this morning, no stranger to the media, this is Miss Ava McCall. Ava McCall is celebrating a birthday today. And Miss Ava, we want to say happy birthday to you. We do pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you walk in purpose. Happy birthday to you. Next is Miss Linnell Rowley. Miss Linnell Rowley is celebrating a birthday today. And Linnell, we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. And it's coming to you from all of us here at the Tobago Updates Television family. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today. We do hope that you enjoy all the celebrations that come with a birthday, and that you write beautiful stories in this chapter of your life. Happy birthday to you. Nikersha Jack, she is next, yes, and she also is celebrating a birthday today. And Nikersha, we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Next celebrating is Odell Joseph. Odell Joseph is also celebrating a birthday today. And Odell, we want to wish you a very happy birthday today. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We do pray that as you step into this new chapter of your life, that you have wonderful experiences. So happy birthday to you. Solange Keith. Solange Keith is also celebrating a birthday today. And Solange, we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday and that you are able to create beautiful memories as you enter into this new chapter of your life. So happy birthday to you and God bless you. Next up is Patricia. Patricia Nicholson Richards. Yes, one of our very own here at Tobago Updates Television. We want to wish you a very, very happy birthday, Patricia. We pray God's blessings upon your life as you enter into this new chapter of your life, that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. So happy birthday to you. And on screen now, we have Mr. Delbert. Delbert Edwards is also celebrating a birthday. Delbert, we pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do pray that you have a wonderful birthday. So happy birthday to you as well. And of course, to all of you who are celebrating, even if we don't have your photos, we want to wish you a happy birthday as well. And remember to always give God thanks for life. For no man can give life to himself. It is God who gives us life. So give him thanks for all that you have and all the experiences that you have as well. Right? Happy birthday to all of you. You might be wondering, who are we having conversations with today? And I can tell you, we start off conversations by speaking with Mr. Anil Roberts. Yes, he is a former Minister of Sport. And guess what? Yes, we are going to be addressing sports, the status of sports in Trinidad and Tobago, especially coming out of Olympics, Paris 2024. We're going to have conversations with him this morning. So you want to be here to be a part of that conversation, to hear his point of view and to hear the strong points that he will be bringing forward. And then we speak with Mr. Junior Kwashi. Mr. Junior Kwashi is the president of Castara Fisherfolk, and we are talking about Castara Fisherman Fair 2024. So you want to be here for that conversation as well. Of course, I want to say again, thank you to all of our viewers, whether you are viewing us on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel, or on Amplia 102. We say thank you. A special good morning to you, whether you're viewing in Trinidad, Tobago, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, Canada, the United Kingdom, the continent of Australia, the continent of Africa. We say thank you so much and pleasant morning to you, and we do pray God's blessings upon your life. All right, before we begin conversations this morning, we have to go for a short break. And as we go for a break, we invite all 45 and 10,000 of you to help us share the live. We'll be right back.
Tune like this. Don't worry, but why you fuck it up? Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be a very hard fiesta.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash. What you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good on. They do but enough line. Girl, go to club, girl, like. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and I'm winding up on my man.
Dream.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry's social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. All right, it's that time of the morning where we begin our conversations. And as mentioned, we're speaking with Mr. Anil Roberts, former Minister of Sports here in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are addressing the state of sports in the country of Trinidad and Tobago, especially coming out of the Olympics 2024. Mr. Roberts, good morning and welcome.
Good morning and good morning, Tobago. I wish I was over there.
Yes, Tobago is indeed a beautiful place, and we're happy to have you this morning. Of course, we're speaking about sports just coming out of the Olympics 2024, and I know that you have a lot to say about the performance of our athletes there, not just for Olympics, but in general, the state of sports and sports maintenance, the maintenance of facilities in Trinidad and Tobago as it relates to support for athletes as they prepare for championships across the globe. So we're going to head straight on into that conversation. Coming out of Paris, no medals, a close call. Jerome Richards almost, coming in there, breaking his own record, and of course, almost medaling, but still coming home empty-handed. What is your position where all this is concerned, especially in the preparation for Olympics 2024?
Well, unfortunately for me, while people are asking me to speak about it, it is very painful because I love sport. Sport is life. Sport, I was a national swimmer since 1977, then a national under-19 footballer and an Olympic coach for 35 years. And to see Trinidad and Tobago, the land of my birth, the land that I became and stayed and did not take opportunities to go out elsewhere to coach, go to the Olympics first and foremost with only 16 athletes. 17 officials, more officials than athletes, and to go with athletes who were underprepared, underfinanced, lack of investment, and not ready to take on the world. Jerome Richards did very well, brilliant, amazing run from lane 9. But other than that, Trinidad and Tobago's performance left much to be desired, especially from a country with such a rich history in Olympic sport performance. 1948, we won our first medal with Rodney Wilkes. 1952, we had medalists in weightlifting, Rodney Wilkes and Lennox Kilgore. Over the years, with our 4x400 men and 400 men open, flat, quarter mile. 1964 bronze, 1966 Commonwealth Games world record. Hazy Crawford, 1976 beating the world in Montreal in that 100 from the inside lane. We had Otto Bolden in 96 and 2000, George Bovell 2004, Richard Thompson 94 by 100 in 2008, Beijing 2012. The best Olympic performance in history while I was Minister of Sport, Keshawn Walcott throwing 84.58 for gold. And then we got a silver and 2 bronze medals. Lalonde Gordon from Tobago with that 400, double bronze, 400 quarter mile and the relay. To come and see our quarter mile relay in 2024, run 1.63 seconds slower than Wendell Motley, Ed Roberts, Bernards, Ed Skinner, Ken Bernard in 1964. To run slower than our relay team in 1964, there is something drastically wrong. And it starts with selection, passion, belief, and understanding. With all due respect to the Honorable Shamfa Cudjoe, she didn't want to be Minister of Sport. She never dreamt of being Minister of Sport. She didn't have a passion for sport. In fact, those of you who follow politics will remember when Keith Rowley moved her from the portfolio of tourism in order to get some of his more preferred people to be negotiating a branding of a hotel to be paid for by citizens to the tune of $7 billion to build a sandals and a beaches on Tobago without consultation with the THA. When Rowley moved Shamfa Cudjoe from tourism to sport, she said, when your own dog bites you, you're well bitten. She never wanted to be in sport. When I was allowed to be Minister of Sport, it was a total honor. I've dreamt of that occasion. I prepared myself from since I was 15 years old, educated myself, loving sport, following every sport on God's green earth to know what to do, coaching, development, investment, talent identification, understanding primary school development, education and sport, student athlete, total participation in sport, elite level. So when you start with a lady, a minister, a member of parliament who does not want to be there, you start bad because you need leadership. And leadership comes from inside the cabinet because the minister has to know, has to believe what resources are needed, not only for the elite athletes, but for the coaches, for get out there to get special camps, education, science, maintain facilities, ensure that children can participate and get funneled into pathways to success. You do not go to the Olympics and get medals by guess. The sport, the reason people are passionate about sport reflects life. And you do everything. To get an Olympic medal, first of all, you have to see children. You have to see their fast twitch muscles, the anthropological measurements, what they are good at. You have to test them and see what their cardiovascular system is. Are they fit? Are they fast? What are their fast twitch fibers? What are their white muscle fibers that could transfer to speed or to aerobic conditioning? What's their coordination, the eye-hand coordination, their agility? We need people's eyes on babies from 2 years old to 5 years old to put them and select them. What the mother and father tall? Are they going to be fast bowlers or footballers or volleyball players? Are they going to be fast 100-meter runners or 1500-meter runners? We have to get our children up from Tobago straight down to Labre in Trinidad. We have to get them in the hands of qualified officials. All of this was going on when I was minister. Unfortunately, because of the lack of passion and the lack of understanding, there was a cut in sport from elite level. When I was there were 85 athletes receiving elite level funding to help them pay their coaches and their physiotherapists, their gym fees, their supplements, their diets, their travel for competition. That was cut. Even their medical expenses were paid for. There were coaches that were being educated consistently. Certification was going on. Primary school, we were employing teachers and adding on more advanced identification and physical preparation for growth and maturational stages so that athletes could get found out, that the eyes could see them, and then they could be put into the hands of coaches. Facilities across Trinidad and Tobago were being lit up and enhanced with conference center, pavilion, teaching methods. The Dwight York Stadium, when I left there in 2014, there was already approved $125 million because Dwight York Stadium is dangerously dilapidated because of the salt, sea, and wind conditions, the electrical, the rail foundation, the metal. And up to now, they've just done some paint job. And Mama Guy, the people of Tobago, they took Coleman, but took that 120 million. If you go back to a speech in 2015, November, where he said the sport company and the Ministry of Sport had hundreds of millions of dollars left there and it wasn't used. Yes, it was there to rehabilitate and do over and ensure the safety and security of the Dwight York Stadium, the Hasey Crawford Stadium, and the Manny Ramjohn Stadium. Now all of our stadia, all of our facilities are dilapidated. The aquatic center that is in Couva that I built and designed and made sure that the contractors put the best of the best in the USA in one position, in one place. There is no facility like that. With 50 meter by 25 meter pools, a diving well, 25 meters by 20 meters deep, dry dive facilities, aqua aerobics. There's for synchronized swimming, a Bose system that the children could hear music underwater as good as you are hearing me now. These things have not been utilized. There is no plan for development, no coaches. On top of that, I don't only want to blame the government. That's just the leadership from the organizations and the association. We still are myopic and selfish. We only get involved when our own child is involved. We are not there for the benefit of the sport. So we employ a sort of nepotistic selection process for coaches and managers and so on.
Mr. Roberts, I'm feeling your passion here for sport, right? And I understand that you do get emotional when you're speaking about sports. And you're mentioning about all the facilities that are available in Trinidad and Tobago and the state of the facilities, the investments that were made when you were minister and the investments that continue to be made. Well, we want to talk now about accountability, because if all these facilities are available and the opportunity for investment is there, then what then is the problem? What is why are we in this situation where our athletes, one, they are asking for more support, and two, they are not medaling at championships, especially the Olympics. Additionally, what does it really take? I want you to tell us, what does it take to create an Olympian, somebody who we know is well prepared, well grounded, holistically, to take on the feat at the Olympics and come back home with a medal?
Well, the facilities are there, but the PNM has closed them off and they're not accessible to the people. That's the point I'm making. When we built them and when they were there and maintained them, they were left open and could be utilized free by the population. The PNM government has a policy of selective use, that you have to know somebody to get into the National Tennis Center to play tennis. You have to know somebody to go and use the aquatic center. These facilities are not being utilized to the maximum as they were intended. They should be left open and free for the entire population to utilize. Parents to exercise while their children are involved in sport. So we need to understand not only in financial investment, but we have to invest in coach education. There was sporting camps in Easter and summer vacation where coaches could go and see 21,000 children. There were coaches who put out sport development officers to go and search and look what it takes to beat the world. You have to first identify talent, as I was saying. You have to see the athletes. You have to go out into every nook and cranny and find athletes that will have the necessary tools that God gave them to perform in different sports. So if you're looking for a swimmer, you will go all across the primary school, get them in the YMCA in Tobago, look at the field that they have for the water, look at their mother and father, see what sort of genetic makeup they have, look and see how tall they will be, what events, what stroke they will do. Then you have to start to prepare them physically, physiologically, and mentally. You need psychologists and coaches that are qualified to develop the mentality, because finding talent is one thing. If you don't have the wherewithal, the discipline, the punctuality, the stick-to-itiveness, the ability to take pressure, like George Bovell, who has Tobago heritage, like Dwight York. Why is Dwight York the greatest footballer to ever come out of Trinidad and Tobago? because he was a Tobagonian. He was not soft like Trini. He did not have that mall mentality at 12, 13, 14 to go and lime and go down the islands and go to the river. He was practicing with his ball. He was practicing with his coach, Burton Sinclair. He was running. He was fit. Even up to now, Dwight York is probably my age, 55, 54. He is fitter than some fellas who are on the national team right now. His mental attitude and love for the sport, his discipline, his passion, his hard work took him to Manchester United treble, took us to the World Cup because of his mental attitude. They had other players who had the similar sort of physical skill and touch, but Dwight York made it because he had the parenting, the character, the discipline, and the work ethic.
And the support, that's right, the discipline and the work ethic, of course. And you know, Mr. Roberts, this leads me, we're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, I want us to start talking about the culture that we have here as it relates to the investment in holistically into the sport, because you spoke so much about Dwight York and the attributes that he has that has led to his success. So we want to speak a little bit more about that. But when we come back from the break, we'll head on into that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Mr. Anil Roberts, former sports minister here in Trinidad and Tobago, as we address the state of sports in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to go for a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue that conversation. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
I'ma play some tune like this.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. Call us today to order, as we are here to schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens is coming down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle. A million strong come together.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Go in, you have to stop it, you have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it every night.
That's it, that's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Put a smile on your face when you're moving moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome back to the Morning Show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning, speaking with Mr. Anil Roberts, the former Minister of Sports here in Trinidad and Tobago, as we continue to address the state of sports in Trinidad and Tobago. Before we went to a break, we were speaking about creating an Olympian and what it takes to create one, the investment that needs to be made, and we were talking about the athlete himself. Mr. Roberts, you were talking about the dedication, the passion, the integrity, and all of these attributes that contribute to an athlete being ready for a major championships, one such as the Olympics, with reference to Mr. Dwight York. And now I want to talk about the actual culture of our country here in Trinidad and Tobago. When we make reference to other countries who prepare for an Olympics or any major championship, we know that we don't start a week before, a month before, even a year or two before. There must be some type of mindset that leads to creating this athlete. That leads to creating the support and the community that will be there to lend that measure of support to ensure that we emerge successfully. So what are some of the things that are required and necessary to ensure this success at any great championship where sport is concerned?
Well, you are so absolutely correct. And it starts in the womb. The parents have to believe and understand that what they are producing in that womb of the mommy is potentially a beater, whether it is in sport or in academia or art or music. You have to believe that, and then you have to stimulate and prepare that child, teach that child the necessary tenets of discipline, courtesy, hard work from the time that child is conceived coming out. The first 5 to 7 years is when you're going to develop that culture. Now, unfortunately, in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a culture, more so in Trinidad, but Tobago is slowly catching us, that we are laissez-faire. We do not believe in merit. We don't like competition. All of a sudden, we become soft. We don't deal with problems head on. We accept anything. We are pliable. We change our minds quickly. Our peers, our friends, when we are working hard, do you know how much ridicule Dwight York used to get because he always with the football and so on, while his friends were liming and going out and talking and so on, he was with that ball. Other athletes who work hard go into a school system, that they become pariahs because of their discipline. That culture must change. In other places like the USA that got 40 gold medals, China 40 gold medals. When you have talent, you are surrounded by people at every juncture who enhance your talent, encourage your talent, big you up, as they say, pat you on the back, push you forward, whether in the grocery or the pharmacy or the village, people know you and encourage you and admire your hard work, that you got up 4 o'clock in the morning to run and do your fitness, that you go to the gym and you work hard. And then there's the news and the media understands from an early age what is necessary. Then there are competitions every weekend that you could test yourself and also keeps you humble. Place like Trinidad and Tobago, as soon as you show talent, you start to win at 8, 9, 10 years old. And then we get what is called staritis. We feel we good. We feel we better than everybody else. And a humbling experience is just a plane ride away. Because when you go to meet those countries, those athletes that come from a culture of competition, when you go to meet Japanese athletes, when I watched them train in 1996 while I was coaching 3 Olympians, and I saw the Japanese swimming team training, the athletes would just come out, bow to their coach, do their workout to perfection, finish the workout, bow to their coach and leave, while I am shouting and screaming, come on, do better. Why are you all going so slow? Pick it up. We have Olympics coming, and all of this I have to do because we have not developed an overall culture based on merit. We do not respect merit. We have a political system and a system that encourages need to know, nepotism. You have to be my friend to get through, rather than who is the best move forward. We're changing scholarships to bursaries. And when you go out to test yourself now against the world, which is the Olympics, you will be beaten because your culture has not produced greatness. Your culture has not enhanced your talent. You have not been encouraged and pushed to those boundaries. So when you get out there and you ask your body and your mind to do it, it just isn't there.
about being laissez-faire and just going through the paces and not giving that measure of commitment and the sacrifice that it takes. Are we now talking about addressing what it really means to be to have national pride in anything that we do? It's just that we're speaking about sports today, but how do we address that and get people to understand what it really means? Even when we make comparisons to other countries, as you just made reference to Japan and other countries who they train rigorously with the aim in mind, because when you enter a competition, you're going for gold, right? That should be your mindset. That should be what you're thinking about. We're thinking, listen, we're going to bring home as many goals as possible. So how do we address that situation now and get people, not just the athletes, not just the community that support them, but the entire nation to understand what national pride is, to lend that measure of support, to boost morale, just to be there and to lend that measure of support to the athletes, to the community that is going with them, that is supporting them, that is training them, providing all the measure of support they need, whether it's psychological, physical, even their diet, their nutrition, stripping away the culture of just being casual about things. How do we address getting people to understand the importance of national pride and the successes it can bring us if we really stand in that position?
But you know it, and I know it. We used to have it. My father is from Tobago. My grandfather was Principal Roberts. My grandmother was a music teacher in Tobago. The discipline and the culture that you get from your parents, teaching, making you respect first and foremost your mother, your father, your family, then your teachers, then your sports coaches, and your area. We have lost respect. Our parents are not teaching the right things. Our culture has diminished. We throw things out. Imagine you could be in Tobago, the most beautiful place on God green earth. And if you drive around enough, you will see a citizen open the window and throw something out. That in other countries is unfathomable. That will be so unacceptable, not because of punishment, not because of possible ticket or because of the police, just because of love and respect of your place, of your rock, of the place that has made you. We are lost. We have lost it from parenting. We've lost it from the communities. We've lost it from individuals. We've lost it from schools. We have children talking to teachers how they want. We could have never done that. A teacher represents your mother and your father once you leave school. Once you leave home and put on your uniform, we have to get back to basics. Some of us do not even know the anthem. We don't stand up straight. When you see the anthem playing, children have on the hat, the fancy hat. We are lost and we must find ourselves, but we must first accept that we are lost. When you know where you are, then you could start to improve. But if you want to tell fibs or lie to yourself and fool yourself that we're still good, the crime situation starts with bad parenting, starts with lack of patriotism, lack of respect, lack of care. For a young boy to pull a trigger, he does not even know love. He does not know that that bullet might take away somebody, mother, somebody, father, somebody will be crying because we have no love. We've lost our community spirit and we must get it back at every juncture. From primary school, you must stand up to your anthem and sing it every morning. Say your prayers. Talk to your God, whatever you call your God. Respect other religions. Talk to people. We are lost, and it's all this. That is the tapestry from which Olympic success or success globally, whether it's in literature, in arts, in academia, in movies, in TV, in whatever it is. When the West Indies were the greatest, that's our culture in the Caribbean. We were the greatest because we came from a community where the community raised the child. We grew up with respect. You could not be rude to your neighbor. You had to pick up and clean up the yard in front of your house. We are lost, and unless we as a country decide to find ourselves, we're in real trouble.
Mr. Roberts, of course, I appreciate everything that you've said so far. And in closing, I would give you 3 points. What are the 3 main points that you think we should focus on if we want to improve the state of our country, increase national pride, and of course, produce winners on any international stage?
Parent education from the womb, early childhood and primary school, respect, more pay and bonuses for teachers, with a program also to instill the basics of courtesy, respect, punctuality, discipline, saying thank you at primary school, and then identifying talent, looking for talent in teachers and parents who could see and understand how to find athletes at an early age and then show them the pathway to success. Those are the places that we need to begin. And then you add on coach certification, putting merit ahead of friendship and moving forward. And then we could get back to how we were. We are a great people. We have the greatest. But we will contact with how to ensure that success is a possibility.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts, for giving us your strong points there and for engaging in the conversation. And of course, reminding us that we need to go back to grassroots, go back to the basics where we respected each other, where we looked out for each other. And when we knew when we leave home, we're representing our parents. And so we had to maintain good manners. Thank you so much there, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Mr. Anil Roberts, former Minister of Sports here in Trinidad and Tobago, as we speak about the situation of sports in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. In Tobago. Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come.
So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:46 a.m. So if you're making your way to work for 8 a.m., you have just about 14 minutes to get there. Remember to drive safely on our nation's roads so you reach to work safely and also protect those who are using our roadways. All right, we continue conversations this morning. We speak with Mr. Junior Kwashi, and he is the president of the Castara Fisherfolk, and we're speaking this morning about the Castara Fisherman 2024. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers.
Right, so we're talking Castara Fisherman, right? And for those of us or viewers who are not aware, fisherman is really usually something that is sort of a socialization. We're talking about family, sports, and having a good time there in the area wherever a fisherman is. We're talking about Castara now. So in that Castara area, we're talking about sports, fun, family day, and all the things that come with fisherman. So tell us a little bit about what the structure is for your event this year.
Okay, Castara this year going to be a bit different. One, because we are concerned about the crime rate, which is going on in the country right now. So we're going to start off the morning, Sunday morning, by breakfast from 7:30. Free breakfast. You come and get free breakfast as normal. You get chocolate tea, fried fish, roast baked, free. At 10 o'clock, we have a church service. We have Pastor Bebon and the Seventh-day Adventist pastor who will be there likewise. That service will take 1 hour. After the hour, we open our sports events, which we plan to just have a sports events today on that day because of the crime. We are concerned about Castara, we are concerned about Tobago, we are concerned
when
about
you say you're having a sports because of the crime, is it, explain to me why you're saying because of the crime you're just having sports?
Okay, let's go back a little bit. A month and a half ago, 4 got shot down in Black Rock. Right? Who was innocent, we don't know. Right? After that, he swing across to Mount Pleasant, swing across to Scarborough, and last week in upcountry, right, in from Pabu, a young doctor has saved her life. I hope everything goes fine with her. And we're trying to protect that, right? We are saying that enough is enough. People of Tobago, let us protect what we have. Now, Castara has always built Castara, right? And we are not looking for this again to happen in Castara. Remember last year, the 16th of August, a guy gets shot up a car in Castara, and we're still waiting on that. But that is the police matter. I hope they will deal with it in due time, right? We are saying that the crime thing in Tobago is getting out of hand. We don't know how to control it. So far, the police is trying the best, and we need to also assist in some way or the other and keeping that down by that night fete. No.
All right, so the FET part of it is eliminated due
Yes,
to the
totally.
cause,
Yes.
the concern for crime.
Yes, very concerned.
Totally understandable. And so I do hope the day itself, it doesn't take away from the activities during the day. So what are the plans for the day in terms of the sports and family day and the things that are going to occur there? What can patrons look forward to being a part of the fisherman this year?
Right. So when you come on Castara and you don't drink a chunky tea, well, the beach is there for the beat as usual. We are lifeguard on board, right? So we're gonna have first we're gonna have kids rates. We have fishing inshore. We say from the shoreline and shoreline. We have price for that, male and female. We have adults race. We have some race that we bring in this year called Zesters fishing race. Those are the boat that will be taking part in the boat race. They have to do fishing race. So not just racing alone you know about, a lot of fish. If you could fish, you could feed somebody.
That's right.
And we also have a tug of war race where the Zesters against the race, same boat race, the racers. We try to incorporate everybody as best as we can. We also have a race called the flag race. That is, you put on 6 objects at a point, 7 persons here have to run to get it. One going to all get left out. And you're going to ball on to 2 persons for 1 object, right? That's
something like musical chairs.
Yeah, something like musical, but you have to run.
That's right.
You have to run to get to your point. It's a technique that, some people run it constantly every year, right? So we have a full pack. We want to start at 12 o'clock. We have races. We have a race from Blackrock to Castara boat race. We have a race for the Suzuki Marine sponsors a race. Mercury Marine sponsor a race. We have a race we could call it air representative race, like the biggest one. We have a race for a guy named Mr. Peters, Fresh Fish, a young man who does sell fish at Mongrace. He's also going to do a race. We have a whole compact day, and we are hoping that everybody come forward as normal. But just remember, we have no FET in the night. We are protecting Castara. Castara has built Castara. We don't want to lose it because of crime.
And in terms of participating in the races and the events, is there like a registration, and what has the response been like in terms of people wanting to be a part of it?
Right. It has been good, right? The only registration we have is the boat race. As small fee of $200 for all the races. So we pay $200 and we play part of all the races. All the prices are over $500. So you pay a small share and you show you're winning up money-wise, right? The swimming race could be free. The fishing from shore will be free. We have prices for that. All this will be free.
So you have, of course, you have sponsors and persons who are, collaborating with you to ensure the success of the event.
We have sponsors. We have on board. We have NLCB, our main sponsor, right? Then we have the air representative. We have Suzuki Marine. We have Mercury. We have MP, and we have other small persons that chip in to make sure that this thing works perfect.
Absolutely amazing. And what is that one thing you're looking forward to the most? Because I know when you're planning events and you're part of these types of things, there's one particular thing that you always look forward to. So what are you looking forward to the most for Castara Fisherman?
I'm looking forward to see everybody come and have a great time, a nice time, and live in peace. Come good and live better. That is what I'm looking for, better.
I like that tagline, come good and live better. I quite like that very much. And I do hope that people come out and enjoy what is there being offered at the Castara Fisherman. That is this Sunday.
This Sunday.
And starting from what time?
7:30 a.m. you get your breakfast free. Remember, all breakfasts are free.
Right. And then the races begin. Then you have the church service.
Yes,
and then
we have the church service from 10 to 11, and the races begin at 12.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And, I really, really want to wish you guys the very best up there. And I know you keep talking about, and we always keep talking about right now, as it is in the atmosphere, the situation about crime. And so you've eliminated that part of the event, which we know as the FET. Most people go, the certain generation, they go to fisherman closer to the end to get ready for the FET, right? And so for those who are expecting that FET, it's not going to happen this year because, of course, you don't want to provide an opportunity for criminal activity.
Yes.
In terms of the Castara community, what is the conversation like in terms of, I know you made that decision at the executive level that we're not going to have the FET. Yeah. What is the conversation like in terms of ensuring that Castara remains safe and that, you keep your eye out, because we keep hearing, if you see something, if you know something, say something. What has the conversation been like, and what is the atmosphere in Castara to ensure that that space, as a tourist, it's highly populated by tourists year round? down because Castara is so beautiful and scenic. What is the conversation like in terms of keeping the crime down?
Okay, well, when I spoke to guest house owners and bar owners, everybody agreed, right? Some was even saying to call for the whole thing. They said, no, let us keep the day, right? Let Castara show that Castara could defend ourselves in this day. Bear in mind, 2021 and 2020, there were no fisherman fed because of COVID, right? We had those was to keep it down. And we are saying, if it comes the case now that we are not going to keep the fed, until things changes, we are hoping for the best, we are going to do it like this. And the villagers and the bar owners and the hotel owners are quite welcome that, and they agreed because everybody watching the back right now, we don't know who next. We don't know what will happen next, and we are trying to protect Castara and Tobago.
Of course, absolutely. And in terms of your views as to the situation itself holistically on the island, what are your views on that one, and how would you like to see in terms of solving and resolving and ensuring that the crime level remains down on the island of Tobago?
Right. One thing I like to see the police in Tobago, / Trinidad and Tobago. I like to see more communication with the public, right? Don't just figure they have it all. Not all is like that. They have some very good police. I wouldn't paint all with the same brush. But you have some that still need to understand that they alone cannot do it. We alone cannot do it, the civilian. It's a joint action with both parties. And I would like to see, I don't know how this one will work out, our borders being protected. You know, we have a lot of open beaches right throughout Tobago. We have no coast guard to patrol it. Anything could happen. Both could come from east, west, north, and south. I would like to see that deal with now. Protect that, you know, it's like you have a house, in the house, and all the windows and doors open. That's how we are in Tobago, right? And I say again, the police need to combine with the civilian, ask a question, be friendly. We know some of us are very arrogant. I'm not saying at times, not all the time, at times. But be more friendly, you know, talk to people, reach people, greet people, and show the love. We have a love in Tobago, you know, but I don't know some of us like we just drop it out the back door. We must look back for that love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Kwashi. You know, we do hope that your fisherman event comes off successfully and that people come out and enjoy all that you have to offer there up in Castara on this weekend. And that, of course, you can come back to report how amazing it went, crime-free, of course, and that people won the prizes that are there to be won, you know. So all the very best there to you and to the members of the Castara Fisherman Association there. Happening this weekend, this Sunday, the 18th of August, free breakfast, church service, and then the games begin at 12 noon up in Castara for the fisherman event this
One
weekend.
more thing I hope to see update in Castara. Give us an update of what's going on in Castara.
That's right. That's right.
And make sure your breakfast, don't leave out your breakfast part, be there on time.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely amazing stuff happening this weekend there in Castara. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have this is not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT. So we ask that you stay with us. And as you stay with us, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Infrastructure is being developed because we have another dream. We have a dream when Cove Industrial Estate will in fact be an industrial estate, and there will be the need to transport containers in and out of Cove. We build this dream because we see an increase in tourist arrivals at the new terminal, and we want to move them as quickly as possible out of Crown Point into the rest of the beauty that is Tobago.
And as you traverse along that road, on the interior, you will meet a roundabout that will be named after Dr. Jefferson Davidson. Dr. Davidson took over the helm from Mr. A.N.R. Robinson when he departed our shores in '86 to become Prime Minister of the country. He was also the first presiding officer of the modern Tobago House of Assembly. And then as you come to this direction, and Secretary James mentioned it, this roundabout here at Shervan will be named after James Bigat. What he did not tell you about James Bigat is that James Bigat is actually responsible for the education of hundreds, thousands of Tobagonians. The road we are standing on today will be appropriately named the Pamela Nicholson Avenue. But as fortunes will have it, the Pamela Nicholson Avenue will drive onto or intersect with a boulevard named after another Charlottevillian in the person of Dr. Winston Murray, the Dr. Winston Murray Boulevard. Coincidentally, both Dr. Murray and Miss Nicholson were members of Parliament for Tobago West.
It is with great humility and gratitude that I accept this token of your recognition of my life of service to Tobago. May we as a people continue to grow from strength to strength, always being blessed with visionary and selfless leadership as we position and promote Tobago as the gem of the Caribbean, cognizant of our positive contribution to the rest of the world. God bless Tobago, and may this project stand as a conduit for a buoyant tourist industry, one of the necessary pillars that will take our economy into world-class 21st century development.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title.
It's we Monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix, and you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask the questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. A robbery occurred at the Caribbean Jewelers on the Lowlands Mall yesterday. Though details remain unclear, reports indicate that two masked men entered the store just before 11 a.m., announcing a holdup. Shortly after, a video circulating on social media shows the robbers disguised in construction hats and safety jackets. One of them seen kicking and stomping on the security guard's head, while the other exited the back of the store carrying a black garbage bag. What police are currently investigating the incident. Additionally, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine announced that renting boats is not the best solution for Tobago's Coast Guard, but defended the move as a desperate response to the lack of resources. His remarks followed National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines' opposition of the initiative to rent fishing vessels for crime prevention. Augustine emphasized that the Coast Guard in Tobago currently has no access to boats, leaving the island without proper maritime security support, which he attributed to a failure by national authorities to provide adequate resources. And finally, Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher and Minister in the Ministry of National Security Keith Scotland concluded their crime-fighting tour in Tobago, focusing on building community trust and addressing crime. Scotland will soon present an assessment report to the National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. During the visit, they encouraged residents to support the police and promised increased patrols, particularly in areas affected by violence, such as Black Rock. The Tobago Chamber of Commerce has offered resources to help, which is seen as an essential improvement in police response. And that was all news in 90 seconds. This morning, It's my pleasure to continue a conversation that was started during the Pro Youth Convention on Monday. Now, I had the opportunity to sit and be and direct a panel of a number of dynamic young persons in Trinidad and Tobago. And even as I was able to host that discussion and moderate that panel, a number of interesting ideas and conversations would have come to the forefront. But with the limited time, there was only so much that we could discuss. But this morning, I have the pleasure of sitting with one of those panelists and a young person who has been making waves in his own industry this morning. I have the pleasure of chatting with Mr. Kyle Melody, who is a tech ecosystem builder, a digital marketer, and the co-founder of Tech Beach Retreat. Good morning and welcome, Kyle.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me so much.
No problem. No, we started this conversation and it was just unfortunate that we couldn't really get into the nitty-gritty, specifically, because there was a limit on the amount of time that we had to have that conversation. But, if persons want to know a little bit about you, Kyle is a tech entrepreneur. As I said, he's a digital marketer and an investor. And within the last decade, he would have co-founded about 5 technology-driven companies in the industry of building sustainability, healthy food, local business search, technology business convening, and again, digital marketing. And you, Kyle, you were also featured in a number of magazines like Forbes magazines, Essence magazine, the Huffington Post, Inc., just to name a few. But I'm not going to go off too much on what you have done. I'm going to let you really introduce yourself, because this is just what is said on paper, but you can really let the people know who you are and, how you got to where you are at right now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I pride myself on being an entrepreneur through and through. Actually, backstories, I went to CIC and then I did my undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering, but didn't spend a day in industry. I came home and I started companies to really solve problems here in the region and try and scale those solutions as big as possible. And with every company that I began, I'd always start with, as I would have said on stage, like a really big vision in mind. And most notably, a few years ago, I started this company called First. And First started with that big vision in mind of being able to search and find any business you're looking for in the country and across the region, and see reviews and then be able to order products from them. And Digicel invested $2 million for 25% of that company back in 2014. And that's really where I gained a lot of notoriety together with my other co-founders on the team. But I really pushed through there. And then it's the natural course of innovation and just pushing for wanting to achieve a lot more. That ended up being like one of my biggest wins and one of my biggest failures, but it ultimately ended up being my best stepping stone to what would come next, being Tech Beach. And Tech Beach really focuses on the question of how can we create a community, an environment that sees more technology companies, like what I would have started before with First, really reach to the pinnacle of their success and thrive, and then create more of these kinds of companies coming from our region. Chief Sec Farley mentioned in his speech at Pro Youth that we are big consumers of technology, right? We use all the Facebooks, we use the Airbnbs, the Ubers, all these technology platforms, but we aren't producers. And a big reason why we aren't major producers yet is because production of these applications, these large-scale applications, don't happen in a silo. they happen as part of a greater ecosystem that supports their growth. And what does that ecosystem look like? It's other founders, it's investors who understand how to deploy capital in these kinds of companies. It is professionals who understand how to build and grow these companies that are in a regular interaction with each other to bounce ideas, thoughts, opportunities to each other, that sees these things really come to fruition and grow and scale. And what we do in Tech Beach is to really try to bring all these pieces together through a series of events and a community that we've built that sees these people interacting so much more so that we can really get to that point. And so what Tech Beach is, it's a series of events that happen, major events that happen, one in Jamaica, one in Miami, one in the Virgin Islands. We've done Bermuda. We've done a series of small events in partnership with like Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn, etc., all over the US. And we're hoping that we can begin in Trinidad at some time soon. That brings all these people together, you know. And we're really working to add another piece to our overall ecosystem that we can actually begin investing in these companies and in these people. And so
right. And
that is it.
One of the things that we hardly see specifically within the region and among young entrepreneurs is persons that build companies to sell. You know, I don't think a number of persons have the idea that, okay, I am building something that, you know, can be fully invested in and sometimes even sold for its real value. You know, only we might say a select few understand that. You know, how do we begin to create the mindset among young entrepreneurs that although this might be your baby, at some point to really see its value maximized comes from being able to, you know, sell a portion of the company, possibly.
Yeah, agreed. And that's not something that we see happen regularly within our region. And so that is the sort of culture that we're working to really inculcate and drive forward.
Right, and so when it comes to Tech Beach Retreat, how can young entrepreneurs, specifically from Trinidad and Tobago, become a part of that to leverage some of their innovative tech business ideas?
Yeah, so we encourage people from Trinidad to really, and Tobago, to really participate in any of the events that we put on. We have one coming up in Miami in October 10 to 12, and the one in Miami really focuses on connecting Latin America, the US, and the Caribbean. And so many times we talk a lot about wanting to enter Latin American markets or enter the US, but we don't really have the relationships to enter these markets and understand how to do so. What we've done through our event in Miami is to really bring a lot of those pieces together, so that you coming in as a builder, a founder of something, you can meet a lot of the pieces of the ecosystem to really understand how to connect, how to enter, how to work with these people, and that's really a big push of why we've done Miami. In addition, you're a professional that has skills that you can deploy virtually anywhere. Coming to TBR Miami in particular really gives that opportunity to meet a lot of other incredible companies that have raised millions of dollars, that are scaling, and then provides opportunities for you yourself to be able to work for really interesting, cool companies, you know. And so what we're doing is creating that space that provides a ton of opportunity that wouldn't normally exist for us here in the region, you know. And if you don't make it to Miami in October, there's opportunity in December to make it to Jamaica, December 4 to 6, you know. And so we run this regular calendar of really, really, really great events that provide tremendous opportunity that doesn't normally present itself every day to us here.
So is it that young persons would be given the opportunity to pitch their businesses for startup capital from a number of investors that might be present at the events?
Yeah, great question. So yes, we create something called our startup showcase. And within our startup showcase, founders are able to present their companies to the wider audience. And it's not only just for investors. People always just think that you just need the capital. We need the money. But you need partnerships. I think that's something that we spoke about on our panel as well, right? You need different kinds of partners to work with you to help scale, because when you get the money, what then do you need, right? You need to work with other organizations to really help to scale the impact that you're trying to achieve as well. You need talent, right? So you're getting up there, you're pitching people who want to work with you, see the opportunity as something interesting. You're able to find talent that you wouldn't normally be exposed to. And then even if you're not able to be a part of the startup showcase, we're a very close-knit environment. We're only talking about 400 to 500 people here, and we deliberately keep it intimate so that the opportunity to connect with people that are meaningful increases, right? And so it's not a very diluted event where you have thousands of people and it's very difficult to really find the kinds of people that you want to connect with. But we're across 3 days, and the chances of you connecting with whoever you need to connect with is really, really high. And I mean, if you're having trouble or you want to connect with somebody in particular, reach out to me. As soon as you get there, or before you get there, you say, Kyle, I saw this person is coming, or these kinds of people, can you help me connect? And as soon as you get there, someone on my team will plug you in, help you to connect the dots.
Sounds excellent. And you also have done a lot of digital marketing. Tell young persons how they can truly leverage social media to advance their business ideas. And, because it's not just only about building a personal brand. Building a personal brand is optimal. We know that. But when it comes to moving from that idea to conceptualization into execution, how can they really leverage social media to their benefit?
Yeah, I mean, so I time back to the conversation that we're having on Monday, right? Where we were saying that a lot of the times we utilize social media to macro. That was the word that was used, right? To just check out what our friends doing and what people that we know doing. But there's, as we know, like tremendous opportunity to reach an audience in a really meaningful way, to be able to sell your products, to be able to build your personal brand, be able to build the brand of your business. And the reflection of the content that you see on social media is a reflection of the things that you choose to follow. So I think we need, if you're being deliberate on this journey of understanding how to build your brand, build your business brand, and that kind of content, be deliberate in the kinds of content creators that you follow, so you're inspired and see very intricately how these things are done, because so many creators do such an amazing job of telling the story of the kind of equipment they use, the kind of stories they're telling, the kind of shot they're taking. And I do this all the time, man. Like, I'm always saving pieces of content from different creators and going back to it and saying, hey, how was this shot taken? What kind of camera they use, what kind of video, how did they tell the story, opportunities to enlighten myself on how to really do this, right? And then you package that in one way, and then you put some advertising on it and scale your ability to reach people, not just within our market, but outside our markets, outside the country, outside the region as well, and be able to build a significant audience that you would have not otherwise been able to do outside of the social media era, And so we live in such an incredible time that that our ability to reach audiences in this kind of ways is amazing and really beautiful. And so I'm excited to see more young people really leverage platforms in these kinds of ways. Top ones come to mind, obviously, are I think the entertainers within the online space have done really well to build brands for themselves and then go on and deliver products. I think a really incredible example, if you're looking at it from the business standpoint, is Certified Samson, for example. Certified Samson did a great job over the last, I think he's producing content now for almost a decade, right? So it's not anything recent. Built a phenomenal content platform on entertainment, and then take that content that he's done on entertainment and then launch Certified Scoop, right? Certified Scoop had Faris cutting ribbon, and tons of people there waiting to go in to purchase. And that's very, 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 very incredible. And that's the sort of direction you need to be taking, leveraging your brand that you've built to then come out with a product that you can sell and connect and generate significant revenues is the typical sort of big global celebrity model, right? It's like the Kim Kardashian sort of model, right? They've built so much visibility that they've done through their shows that then Kim is coming out with Skims, and Skims is doing hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue, you know? And so I think what he's done there is follow such a beautiful, incredible model in that way. And we're seeing it coming with a number of other creators in that way. I think like Kyle Boss has a coffee shop, you know, and so that's the way that we need to be thinking more and more, you know.
All right, and we are gonna take a break right here, and then we're gonna come back and continue with this interesting conversation. See you soon, guys.
All right.
The energy filled the sky.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. 8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, 'cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, 'cause you know you're my healing. I said this soca is my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Together
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago. We are back and we are continuing our interesting conversation this morning. I have been chatting with Kyle Maloney, and we are talking all things youth, and we are really harping on the topic and the theme for International Youth Day this year, which is From Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways for Sustainable Development. And he, in his own light, has utilized digital pathways to create success within his own business. And there were a number of things that you shared on Monday. And one of the things that stood out to me was that you indicated that being in the right environment for what it is that you're trying to achieve is so important. You talked about moving to San Francisco, was it?
Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah, and I connected with that because, for a lot of the times I am either in Tobago or in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and I want to understand how to really leverage being in the right environment, because sometimes you can be in the right environment, but you don't have the courage that it takes to really reach out to random people that might be in your industry or might be able to help you. I know a lot of young persons who go back and forth between Tobago and maybe Miami or Tobago and New York, but still have not been able to leverage that opportunity of being in different places and different spaces and different environments. So how can we truly tap into being where everything is happening and not let that consume us but benefit from it?
Yeah, great question. I think I made this tweet on Twitter, X or whatever you call it, Twitter, some recently, where I said, like, there's so many people I see here locally that if they were in a different environment, they would thrive so much, they would be doing so well, but they're here and they're so frustrated and they're feeling like despondent and a lack of purpose, and so the really great analogy to that is that a fish, right? A fish is only thrives in water, right? And put a fish on land, if the fish will feel real frustrated, it can't go anywhere, can't do anything because it's on land, and it just don't know what it need. And the fish is just on land and it just can't really move about too much. The land dry and it just don't know what it missing, right? A fish that don't know about water, right? But then one day the fish end up stumbling and fall into this lake, and then the fish start to move, right? It's like, wow, this whole new environment, I never knew was possible, and look at how well I'm doing. I could do all these different things, And so think of yourself as that animal that, if you're frustrated, that isn't in the right environment, and if you're able to find the right environment and identify the environment that is needed, you're going to move so much more quickly. You're going to move in ways that are natural to your progress, because this is actually who you are. And so for me, I recognize that really early. I say, listen, if I'm building technology, I'm building a technology community, I'm building a technology conference, I want to build technology businesses, I can't be in Trinidad, I need to be where the home of technology is, right? The hub of technology globally is Silicon Valley. And so I was blessed to have really good friends, like two good friends in San Francisco, started off with, right? One that gave me opportunity to stay by her house. And then the next one is a good friend of mine that was plugged into the ecosystem. And I took that and went from two friends to partnerships with Google. Google is our title partner at both our events, partnerships with Meta, Microsoft, and so that came because I was very deliberate in saying, I need to get out of this environment that really isn't conducive to my progress, And so when you're stepping into these new environments, the hack is find events and communities like what we built with Tech Beach to meet people and get that soft introduction where people are coming to these events to meet people. So going up to a random person in a coffee shop or sending a random email is less likely to get a response that's positive. But if you go up to a random person in an event where people come to meet people, you're more likely to get a really positive, open response. And so that's the hack. The hack is go into the cities and the spaces and the countries where you think are really conducive and beneficial to you. And find the events that bring the kinds of people I want to meet together. Go to those events and be very open to connect, introduce yourselves, and engage always first with the mindset of asking the question, how can I help? How can I contribute to this person in any kind of way, right? And you pour small nuggets of help and support to people, and those nuggets begin to come back to you in really incredible ways. And that sort of mindset and energy is what we've led with at TBR, where we constantly pour positive energy and opportunities and opening doors and connections and helping in any way that we can, so that the community does that sort of naturalness and continues to help each other and help us as we continue to grow, and so that's the process there. That's the process.
But then it takes some level of confidence to, let's say, for instance, buy a ticket, go to the Cannes Lions International Festival for Creators, and, knowing that you're a newbie to the festival or just to the industry, and feeling like, okay, a bit out of your league when you step into these conferences, or, you go and you are just starting and everybody seems like they have already had it figured out. They already have investors. They already have everything going. Because I remember someone invited me last year and I was like, well, I don't really have anything to show. So I don't feel like I want to be there until I can go and be one of the presenters there. Sometimes you have that mindset, like, where you see yourself. That you have the capability to be there. But in the meantime, how do we navigate those spaces to be able to benefit from that?
Yeah, what you described is something called imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
You feel like you're not worthy of being in these spaces because I don't have. And what I tell you to do is that sort of uncomfortable feeling, everybody has it at some point in time, right? And it's important to push past that imposter syndrome, right? Put yourself in those uncomfortable environments that you think that you need this and this and this and this to enter the space, but then you enter and you realize that a lot of the times people don't connect across their titles. They connect across the things that they're passionate about as people. And you realize that there is more opportunity to connect with people on a human level rather than just I am a whatever fill in the blank senior person and this is what I do. But there's opportunity to connect on humanness in terms of the things that you're passionate about, the things that you care about, the experiences that you've had, and build genuine relationships with people on a human level that then has opportunity to translate into opportunities for yourself, for your business, and the things that you're trying to do. And that energy and that ethos of connecting on a human level is really what we pride ourselves on, the community that we've built at TBR, right? And so bringing it back to us a little bit is that we have such a really no hierarchy, low barriers to entry environment where no matter who you are, where we brought like the founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, 1 year. Jack didn't have a VIP room. You didn't get taken away and whisked away behind the audience and wasn't able to engage. You went from sitting down in the audience to on stage to back engaging in the audience. And so it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire and CEO of 2 publicly traded companies, or you're a guy now starting up, you're going to get to engage with people in the environment that we've built in such a very core human way, right? Where your experience, whether it is, no matter what it is you're doing or building, has value to contribute to this space because it's deep based on the fact that you've spent so much time doing it, and lead with that sense of confidence of what you've done and the value that you can bring into the world, and be open to the fact that you're here because you want to grow, you want to meet more people, you want to do more, you want to achieve more, and so you're not standing on a false ground of accomplishment. You're standing on the ground of where you are, and the reason you're here is acknowledging that you want to do more. And so stand on the ground that you built whatever that ground is, that series of experiences that you've had, that work that you've done, stand on that ground. And no matter how small you might feel that ground is, it's still valuable into a space that doesn't have that necessarily, And so lead with that and step into those spaces, and you'll realize that the perceptions that you had all the time coming in are really different to what the reality might end up being.
And I'm glad that you touched on that, because immediately I started thinking from a policy direction. There are a number of different avenues to gain startup capital locally. Might not be much, but there are a number of programs, grants, such as the BDU grant and the REACH grant here in Tobago that young entrepreneurs can benefit from to, help leverage startup capital. But I immediately started thinking that it is beneficial to these young entrepreneurs that maybe, let's say, for instance, the person that wins after, the entire cohort has gone through the training, gets the opportunity to go to these big international conferences and see how, other successful persons in their industry would or continue to do it, and continue to allow even their companies to go public. Because there are persons who feel like, okay, well, I'm into fashion and design. How do I get a company to become publicly traded and sell, shares and stuff like that in the company? But going to these international conferences, seeing how, as for instance, you indicated Kim Kardashian would have moved from just being her own personal brand to now having a multi-million-dollar company in Skims, and how they can begin to think on that international level and having that global impact, as opposed to simply, I just want to start a business and market it on social media for persons who are within my direct reach. So from a policy perspective, that's just one idea, but what do you think can be done to facilitate young entrepreneurs thinking globally as opposed to locally?
Yeah, I think exposure is everything. You can't. On average, people don't dream for something that they've never seen. Think about like when you're a kid, and they ask you what you want to be when you grow up. The things you want to be are reflective of things that you've seen. Like naturally, kids want to be a policeman because every day they go to school, they see the police, and if the police, they have positive interactions with the police, they say, I want to be a policeman, or I want to be a fireman, or you're reading a book and they're seeing opportunities of doctor, pilot, or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I want to be that, right? And that experience is actually still part of the greater experience that we have as adults, where even as adults, we only aspire to be and do the things that we've been exposed to, right? Like, so we'd have had more experiences as we grow, and then we say, okay, well, now you want to be something more specific. Let's say a digital marketer, and that wouldn't have been something that you would have said as like a 5-year-old, right? It's something that you might say as a 18-year-old, because now you have those experiences. But then it's still that you're still drawing from those experiences that you've had to that point. And so my point is that how do we change that? How do we change the mindset of what they want to do is really have these been done with Pro Youth and what is going on with the Ministry of Youth in Trinidad with their 40 Under 40 program, which I think is really cool, is bringing so many youth together that are from so many different spaces to really open up the minds of the younger people to show where the opportunities exist, right? And show that there are so many more opportunities to be successful in so many different spaces that might resonate deeply with you. And so that you can begin following and chasing after that dream and that path at a younger age because it resonated more really with you. And so it really boils down to exposure and being deliberate about creating more opportunities for people to see the kinds of careers that are possible from creating content and somebody looking at it and just laughing, going back to the like Samson or Kyle case, right? Somebody, the person not seeing the business side of it, right? Like they just engaging with the content and just laughing, but not realizing that what they're doing there is building up a significant, tremendous following that they're working to then leverage to release products and build products on it. And then from the products they release, they're going to do more products, and then they'll have capital to then become investors, and that's like the trajectory that, if you're in a business mindset, you're seeing it happening. And it's really cool to see that it's actually happening right now in our country and in our region in this way, And so the answer to it really is consistent, deliberate exposure from our government seeing that. And it's really cool that we're seeing that happen now. And I want to see it continue to build on that, and having that level of exposure occur, not just from these events, but going into the schools and creating programs so that they have those opportunities to see what is possible. And the reality of what is happening right now, especially within the technology space that is so cross-cutting, is that the jobs and the opportunities that will exist for the youth don't even exist right now. If someone said when like 15 years ago that they wanted to create content, like they would say, okay, that's madness, like Facebook, but now so many platforms, the platforms evolved so much that now this is an actual opportunity that exists, and so the platforms will continue to evolve. And as the platforms evolve, the opportunities to do incredible things will evolve, and so, yeah.
Let's going back a bit to the idea of giving youth exposure and seeing what is done in the rest of the world. Now, social media has allowed us to be able to tap into that without even getting on a plane. We can see what's happening on the other side of the world. But even when the youths get these types of opportunities for that global exposure, now we saw that the Pro Youth Convention on Monday did an excellent job of creating that type of exposure by exposing young persons to a number of different pathways, whether it be creativity, finance, education, or technology through that convention. But you see a huge brain drain still happening, where when persons do get the opportunity to go out, they don't come back because they feel like what they have to contribute is not appreciated, or they aren't avenues or industries that have been created to feed into the skills that they have now acquired. How do we, from a policy perspective, create platforms for these persons to seamlessly make a transition back to contribute?
Yeah, good question, right? I think the brain drain of our parents' time is different to the brain drain of our time. And what I mean by that is that in our parents' time, people get up and leave, go to another country, and a lot of them, they don't come back. Like, a lot of them, you meet them up in New York or Toronto. When's the last time you went to Trinidad? Boy, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I didn't go back there in so long. I was so happy to leave, and yeah, they don't come back. I think the reality of our time is that we have such high mobility between countries and cities now that if someone leaves, they come back a lot more often than before. So that's one. Two, because there is opportunity to connect virtually and contribute virtually in really tangible, meaningful ways, that the brain drain is not the brain drain of our parents' time. And so what we need to be doing now is actively building railways to leverage our diaspora globally to be able to contribute to the work that we're doing in the region. And quite frankly, I think people leaving can be a net positive if we're able to build those railways, because people leaving means that they're across there having relationships that they would have never had over here that they can leverage. They're making more money than they would have made over here that they can contribute through investing, through doing different things. That if we're able to build these railways to connect our global diaspora, I think it will be a tremendous net positive for us as a region, right? But we struggle with building those railways. And so once again, coming back to the work that we do so that people understand the impact that we're having, is that through events that, like what we've done, like we've become a beacon for our diaspora to connect at home, right? Where we see people that work in really incredible jobs in technology globally tapping into our region through the events that we have through Tech Beach, right? So we've had people that are like senior directors at Twitter, senior directors at Microsoft, chief leaders in some of the best technology companies and just businesses that leverage technology in general, tapping into the region through our events. And so having these kinds of communities that bring together policymakers, founders, investors together on a global scale creates new and unique opportunities for us to build and transform a region that was never there before. And so quite frankly, I see the people leaving and going not as necessarily a bad thing if we're able to build those pathways for them to contribute. I think quite frankly it is almost expanding our capacity globally, because now we have people that are all over the world that are doing things, that are now having all of these relationships that we would have never had and they would have never had if they were here. That if we can only build these pathways for them to connect, man, it'll be absolutely transformative, and so, yeah.
So what about those young persons who have those big tech ideas and they're listening and they're hearing you talking about having relationships with Meta, i.e. Facebook, Instagram, X, Microsoft, Google? How can they now tap into that to be able to get their ideas or in the hands of the right persons? Can they reach out to Tech Beach Retreat and say, hey, I want to come to the retreat. I heard you talking about some of these individuals. I really want to be able to pitch my idea to them.
Yeah, man. Don't need to reach out. Go to the website, techbeach.net, get a ticket, come. Right? The opportunity only presents itself if you're in the room, right? There's only so much I could do in terms of sending an email and saying, hey, Mr. John, speak to Miss Jennifer, or whatever, like the authenticity of the interaction would be so much less because you're not in the room to engage with the people. So I encourage you to get up, come out to your comfort zone, step into these spaces so that you can meet these kinds of people, and the doors will begin to open in ways that you could have never imagined.
Right, and let's go back again when it talks to digital pathways, when we talk about from clicks to progress, when it comes to really not just using social media to go through, to scroll aimlessly, but to really leverage social media to advance your cause for progress, whether it be your own business or to advocate for, particular minority groups to be adequately represented, or it just has to do with pushing an agenda for positivity. Talk to the young persons about really leveraging that new digital technology that we have at our fingertips.
Yeah, man. I think this is like summarizing everything that I've said, right? Is that we live in such an incredible time where from your home, you can build a brand that impacts people globally, I think one of the best examples was my sister. My sister, her name is Samara Maloney, and Samara lived with me, right? And Samara, from her room, began focusing and building, creating content, and telling stories of her life in such a really authentic way that people were pulled in by her genuine authenticity, and took that and began actively creating content around fashion, lifestyle, and took that and really took the energy and ethos that we have as a family to say dream big and say, listen, I don't want to just work with, let's say, Aldo in Trinidad. I want to work with Aldo globally, and had the audacity to reach out to so many of these bigger brands, and get positive responses. Like, I would never forget, she like doing a unboxing, and it was an unboxing of Fenty Beauty, right? That's Rihanna's brand. And I remember messaging her and saying, who in Trinidad distributing Fenty? She was like, boy, why are you so rude and so disrespectful? Why you don't think Fenty will send me this? And then she sent me the screenshots. Hey, Samara, we're so happy to partner with you on this. And I sent me the receipts. I was like, oh my God, Samara, incredible, great job. And then she sent me the receipts of her payment. I was like, totally blown, and so every time now she get one of these global partnerships, she just take pride in just sending me the receipts, like I'll never forget another one being Aldo, right? Like the Aldo US brand reaching out to her and telling her like, hey, when you get to Aldo in New York, go and do a shopping spree in New York kind of thing, and so like the reason why that even happened is because she said to herself from the onset, like, I don't care about just doing something on a local level. I care about building a brand that can attract people globally. And that she did, I was in Tobago and people telling me about her. I was in Grenada and people coming up to me and hugging me and telling me about her. In Miami, people telling me about her. Like, I was totally blown to really see the reach and impact that she'd been able to have in such a really short space of time. And that there is a summary of what is possible. That there's a summary of what is possible.
All right. Well, I mean, you said a mouthful, and as we wrap up the discussion, tell persons again about that Tech Beach retreat and why even as a Tobagonian, it's important for you to catch a flight, catch a boat, do whatever you need to do to get to this conference this year, whether it be in Miami or in Jamaica, because if you really want to leverage those global partnerships to move from local to global business, the Tech Beach retreat is the place to be.
Indeed, right? And so I want to remind people that you don't need to be a quote-unquote techie to be a part of what we're doing. And the reason that we focus our brand on technology is not for designers and developers, and it's only a space for people that are techies. Technology is a cross-cutting thing. It's impacting everybody. Every day you wake up and you engage with technology, on average, the first thing people do when they wake up is grab for their phone, right? You're immediately engaging with technology. Technology is no longer a fringe thing for certain kinds of people. Everybody's using technology. And so because of this cross-cutting nature, you need to understand how you can leverage the technology, the social platforms, to not just be a consumer of it, but leverage it for growth, build your brands and your products or whatever through the social platforms. You need to understand how to leverage your website, how to leverage emails. You receive so many emails, email marketing from so many brands. How is that done? We've created a space and environment that really allows for you to understand and connect with the people that have done incredible things in these spaces, that you're not going to meet on an everyday basis in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, that's just it.
Much, Cal Maloney, and we want to also send love out there to you and your family, and we know that you have a gaping hole in your family now that you have lost your sister, but we know that you carry that energy with you wherever you go, and that even as you're here, you are representing adequately, and she would have been extremely proud. Now, guys, we want to thank you so much for sticking with us this morning. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and for enjoying this engaging youth discussion this morning on the topic, the theme for the International Youth Day, which was from clicks to progress, those youth sustainable pathways for success. And we want to thank you so much for that. I want to thank you for doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island. And if you do want to connect with Kyle outside, you know, you can go to his website, you can go to his Instagram, Kyle Melody, and you can reach out and be a part of that retreat. I know I'm going to be there, so I don't know what you're going to do, but I want you to have a great day. Thank you so much.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago is such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, right here. We're not leave it till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We build artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.